Cloth is made by weaving thread or yarn together. Indian weaves, like Indian dyes, are very diverse and are unique to each region of the country. Before we begin, here are two terms to better understand this topic: warp and weft. These are technical terms for how the yarn is used in fabric formation. The yarn used to create the structure or the base of the fabric is known as warp. In a handloom, it lies vertical and does not move during the weaving process. The weft yarn is used to create the designs and the motifs on the cloth. It lies horizontally and is intertwined to the warp yarn to weave cloth. So let us begin. From the port state of Gujarat, there are three famous weaves. First, the ikat weave. For ikat, one of the yarns, either the warp or the weft, is resist dyed prior to the weaving. Therefore, patterns appear in an interesting way once weaved. Remember, the quality of the ikat weave is measured by the quality of the print. The blurrier the print, the lower the quality. Next is the patola weave. This is a double ikat weave. A double ikat weave is created when both the weft and the warp yarn are dyed prior to the weaving. For the patola weave, each thread is dyed individually, keeping in mind the final design. So weavers are able to create intricate series of patterns and designs, and not just abstract prints. Tanchoi is also from the state of Gujarat. Tanchoi work made of gold and silk was brought to India by three brothers. This is what gives its name. Tan meaning three and Choi meaning brothers. These brothers first introduced this craft to weavers in Surat, and later weavers from Varanasi were able to further develop this technique to make it more affordable to the public. Next, we move to Uttar Pradesh. Here, one of the most popular and expensive types of weaves is the Jamdani weave. This is a very delicate form of work where the thread count for warp and weft are the same. Gold and silver thread are also often used to decorate the Jamdani cloth. After the partition of India, Jamdani weavers from across the country migrated to East Pakistan, now Bangladesh. There, this technique became very popular to create very thin material called dakai. This is named after Dhaka, the capital city of Bangladesh. Another very popular and luxurious form of weave from Uttar Pradesh is the Banarasi brocade. This technique uses an additional set of weft yarn made of gold or silver to weave beautiful patterns and designs into the cloth. The designs in Banarasi brocade work are the same style as in Meenakari jewelry. The background cloth is also made from jewel tones to heighten the luxurious look. Moving on to the culture-rich West Bengal, we have one of the most comfortable cloths to wear during the Indian summers, the Banglar Tant cloth. This is a very popular material for saris as it is very light and breathable. In fact, this material was so popular that the British tried to destroy it, as it was threatening their textile industry in Manchester. Next, the Baluchari weave. This richly dyed silk is made into stunning saris. The entire stories from Hindu mythology woven into the pallu. Because of its intricacy and skill taken to make it, it usually takes weeks and was only worn by the rich. Further south, Andhra Pradesh is also home to some gorgeous weaves. The Pochampalli weave is a type of ikat weave, which is also pre-dyed based on the final patterns. Andhra Pradesh is also home to several very similar cotton weaves, which are named after the towns and villages they are from. The Gadwal, Vanaparthi, Nandir, and Venkatagiri. The Gadwal and Vanaparthi weaves are usually done with thicker cotton materials and mostly made into simple checked patterns and an embroidered pallu in the case of saris. The Nandir and Venkatagiri cloth are similar but with silver and gold yarn used for the borders and the pallu. From Odisha, we have the Sambalpuri weave. For this, The thread is first tie-dyed and then woven into the fabric. The entire process takes a few weeks at least. Though most of the cloth is decorated with small squares and checks, traditional motifs such as wheels, flowers, and shells are also incorporated. From Maharashtra, we have the Paitani weave. This weave uses zari thread for warp and brightly colored thread for the weft. This is a very difficult and exclusive weave, as both sides of the fabric are made to look exactly the same. Very complicated designs are made, and thus Paithani weave is traditionally only worn by the aristocrats and the royalty, who were the only people who could afford it. Chanderi silk from Madhya Pradesh is demanded all over the world. Most of our mothers too would have various saris made from this material, which they reserve only for special occasions. Chanderi or Maheshwari silk is made by using silk yarn for the warp and fine cotton for the weft. The rich zari work on the border and the pallu gives it a luxurious feel. The most common motifs are checks and floral patterns which adorn the body of the sari. Next, from the southern state of Kerala, the kasav material is usually made into saris for women and munda for men. This is usually worn for the festival of Onam or for other occasions. To make this, golden zari thread is used to make a thick golden border with or without designs onto cream cotton cloth. The munda sari, a sari consisting of separate pieces for the bottom and the top, is usually made in this manner using unbleached cotton. Another ancient and very interesting weave is kunbi from Goa. Kunbi weaving used to be worn by tribal women working in the paddy fields. Saris made from kunbi material were short and reached only slightly below the knees, and the material was very easy to dry, making it perfect for working in wet and muddy conditions. However, with the arrival of the Portuguese, the kunbi cloth lost popularity and completely stopped production before the 20th century. However, now Wendell Rodericks, a Goan designer, is attempting to revive this technique. Next, from the northeast. From Arunachal Pradesh, there is the traditional Apatani weave, which is from the tribe of Apatani. Beautiful and detailed, this weave creates mostly checked and geometric patterns. Then, from Manipur, we have the famous Panek patterns. Made from hand-woven silk and cotton, Panek is usually worn as a wraparound skirt by Manipuri women. It is usually with colored strips and heavily embroidered borders, which gives it an elegant and chic look. These are the famous woven prints of India. It is very likely that you would be familiar with some of these from saris. Please remember to particularly take note of the name of the technique and the state it is from. We would also recommend that you remember a unique fact about each technique to further elaborate your answers.